Hello and welcome back to Project Ozone.
Hello.
Gamer's just tabbed me out, that's a bit weird. Reopen the game, it's fine. We did some stuff. I did a lot.
That's the first one I want to address.
We'll get to the hat. I did a lot while you were not here.
So did I.
And then I broke the computer a bit.
You did.
And you have fixed it.
I have.
And then you did a lot while I was not here.
I have. It's the holidays. No one's around.
First things first, I noticed my AFK platform.
Yes. Well,
is smaller now.
Since we did Draconic Evolution last time, I realised that was the component for the next solar panel.
Yes.
And I've had the computer working for about 50 hours straight on just crafting some solar panels, and this is as far as it's got. So,
yes, the computer is struggling.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's... Well, it is that it's struggling. It's just we're getting so far in that all of the processes we're doing just take so long to do.
Yes.
Because it's capacitors I'm finding a big issue, and neutral steel.
Yes,
Everything
the neutral
needs
steel is always an issue. I should have been running neutral steel crafts while I was on, actually. I've forgotten about that.
Yeah, so a quick thing I'll show you what down here is that I should turn that off. I've set up these, which are just crafting these different things, so we have a stockpile of them. And one of them is capacitors, just because we need them, except it hasn't been crafting them because they've just been instantly used everywhere else.
Yeah.
And then neutral steel of the first and second degree, which are also used everywhere. So you can kind of tell which ingots we're using, which ones we aren't.
Yes.
But I thought we could have that on when we're not actually doing anything.
Okay. Right, the hat. You have mentioned the hat.
I have. Did you want to go over anything else you did?
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay.
The hat is a strange Christmas hat. Have a look at my strange Christmas hat.
My hat now.
No. You're likely to get your own with it.
Good luck and slightly increase your running speed.
I know.
Very
I mean,
nice.
slightly is a moderate term. It actually massively increases my running speed.
How do I get hat?
This is my walking speed. That's my speed.
That's pretty quick.
So, if you get your present out of the computer, your mysterious gift.
Gift. I typed in present and I couldn't see anything. I thought you might be holding it.
No, it's mysterious
Right, I have
gift.
a mysterious gift.
Follow me.
Cannot be opened before December 25th. Find a way to open this gift.
Yeah, follow me.
Okay. I just pressed U on it to see if I could find an instruction.
I had to do some research on this because find a way to open this gift is not very informative. It turns out that the only information about this is a Reddit post that took 4 years for them to find the solution as a group.
Okay.
But basically, the solution was you craft this decorative grave.
I was wondering what this was.
And then you leave it. And then every half an hour, it's got like a 5% chance or something to spawn a soul.
Okay.
The little purple ball is the soul.
Okay.
And so now it's got a soul, you can right-click it with your gift.
Okay.
And it gives you presents.
Ooh. A soul receptacle. Prevents me dying when it's in my inventory. Essence of Undeath. Crafting ingredient. And a hat.
Did you get the same hat or did you get a different hat?
Strange Christmas hat.
Same hat. It's not a bauble. I have tried my very best to put it in the bauble slots. It does not fit in any of them. It is a helmet.
But I like my Nematocraft helmet.
I know. This is the thing. It's like I do like the idea of plus 5,000% luck, but at the same time, night vision.
So I like the night vision. It's all overcast and grey now. No.
Also,
I don't like
as
that.
these videos are likely to be going out in April or May, wearing a Christmas hat feels a bit weird.
Yeah, very Christmas. It's
especially a Christmas hat that somewhat looks like a jester hat.
Yeah. It's a bit weird. What are the other things? We've got a soul receptacle. Does that just mean we don't die now?
I guess if you hold it, I didn't. I put it in the computer.
Just as when it's in your inventory.
Yeah.
And then Essence
I think
Fund
it's like a
Death,
total of them dying. I couldn't be bothered.
Spoke myself a tombstone or a tombstone. Supercar's grave.
Yeah, the essence or whatever it is, we already had loads of because we get it as a mob drop.
Ah, that makes sense. Fair enough. That was a fun little Christmas thing.
We've done that.
Well, while we're over here, do you want to see something I've been working on?
The Britannia stuff.
Yes. So we were a little slow on mana last time. And I think you upgraded the lava stuff at the end of last time. Maybe.
I did. Well, it was during the session. We ended up with 8. I think it was during the session we ended up with 8 floating, 8 thermal lilies, 4 of them floating.
Yes.
They appear to be struggling. I don't know what this lava dispensing is doing, but they don't appear to be eating the lava.
Well, they don't need to because they're all full.
Oh, I guess that's true, isn't it? They can't produce because...
Yes. So, you also, at the end of last time, made the Gorma lilies. I think. But you just left them in the chest.
Yes.
You made 1. You ended up making 8 or something. Or more.
Oh yeah, we wanted 8. I can't remember what we did.
And then you left them in the chest to deal with next time, except I got bored.
Yeah.
So
well, it wasn't so much A to deal with next time as A to not deal with now issue.
Yes. So I've set them all up over here.
Yes.
So, in this chest, we have biscuits and gravy.
We do.
And in this chest, we have Bam's pineapple pizza.
They've been eating the biscuits and gravy, actually. That chest was full last I looked in it.
Yeah, for some reason, the computer refuses to autocraft biscuits and gravy.
Interesting.
So we just set
Is it because of the cutting board issue?
No, it can autocraft them. It just won't request them. It won't.
Oh.
It'll push them in there if they are in the computer.
Interesting.
Though now it's refusing to make water buckets. That's a fun issue for in a minute. But yes, so we have 2 different types of food because the Gorma lilies get upset if you only feed them one type of food.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. So we've got item droppers on either side, and I've got a little latching bit of logic counter that just, if it's on 1, it does one side, if it's on 0, it does the other side.
Yes.
Which is a nice little bit of logic. And then that is also affected by this central mana pool which all the flowers feed into. And if that's full, it turns it off, because then we're just wasting food and mana. And then I've got a bunch of mana pools just storing it up. But it works quite nicely. I'm surprised at how well it works. The other thing, which I probably should have done on camera, but I didn't, is this setup, which is an automated Terra Steel.
Yes.
Works very nicely. I might set some going now. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And we've sort of built the frame of the portal ready, although we've not done anything with it yet.
Yes,
we will finish going through everything else we did before we do anything with it.
We've built the frame, and I've set up a couple of mana pools ready to go. Also, I just how long have we got on this timer? 5 seconds till a Terra Steel is made. So, because we've got so many mana pools all with sparks on them, it's incredibly quick.
Yes.
It takes about 5 seconds, if that, to make a Terra Steel, when they're all full.
Yes.
Which is pretty good. But yeah.
And now all of the plants eat, and it's very loud over here.
I mean, we could put another muffler down if you want.
Yeah, I was considering it, but I haven't got round to it yet.
But we don't actually spend a lot of time in this area, and I think this portal's the last thing to do.
Yeah,
and after that we'll just not be here.
So, other things we've done.
Yes.
Over here.
Here. Computer.
By the computer. With your portable shrinking device.
Yes.
We have... Well, I have used this new compact machine. We already had this machine, we just hadn't used it.
Okay. You did some automation.
I did, I know. I did computer stuff, and it works.
I know. I've changed the tunnel, so it's actually on a P2P.
Yes. So this is the thing. I hadn't done P2P. Couldn't be bothered with that. I'd bodged it into the cable that was being used for all the crafting cells. and had to remove our auto recharging of our pneumatic helmets to do so, to get enough channels.
I mean, that's fair.
It technically worked.
Yes.
But this automates Stygian anvils. So there's one anvil for each die, and it means we can automate all of the crafts that happen on a Stygian anvil. So each one has a mechanical user pointing at it with a Yar hammer, constantly activating. And they also have
got the dragon egg.
Item droppers that drop the items on a clock. And yes, I've just got a dragon egg, because we have loads of dragon eggs. So I've just got a random dragon egg generator in the corner. I figured that was the easiest way to make GP in here.
Yeah.
Strictly speaking, I think GP is meant to be universal. It's meant to be cross-dimension, but...
well, these have only got a limit of 500, which I think is...
Yeah.
The dragon
basically,
limit,
they didn't have any, but I don't know if I placed the dragon mill, if you placed the dragon mill in the overworld, because it is personal.
Ooh, yeah. Well, now we each have one.
So I've got around it by placing one in here for these.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So these work as well.
I know.
Weirdly.
I think I've used a couple. Very nice.
In a shocking turn of events, something I built has worked. And I had to set up a quantum ring for it.
Yeah, that's a fun one. Did we have some singularities available, or did you just make
You've
them?
got loads of singularities available.
Okay, fair enough.
You're not short on singularities.
Right, we have more stuff to put in.
You've got 13 pairs of singularities.
Oh, that's plenty. We have more stuff to put in a compact machine. Do we want to put it in this one or make a new one?
I don't mind. There is an argument for leaving this one for other Woot type things. At the same time, there are no other Woot type things.
Well, I think we could leave it for other grid power things.
But we could leave it for other grid power things, given we've got a dragon egg mill in here.
Sensible. So, would we like to go and make a compact machine?
Well, was there anything else we've done between sessions that we need to talk about first? I can't remember it. Well, I can remember something else, actually.
What else have you done?
The other Woot recipes that need enchanted books. So we already had an arcane ensorcelator. This took some finding. And we already had an enchantment applicator. So the arcane ensorcelator will automatically do level 1 enchantments. So it will only do, say, sharpness 1. It won't do sharpness 2 or 3.
Yes. And then this one combines the books.
And then that's where the enchantment applicator comes in. This is confusing. No mod has an auto anvil. Normally, if you wanted to combine enchantments, you'd do it on an anvil.
Okay.
Literally, no mod in any version of Minecraft has ever added an auto anvil. It's just not a thing.
Really? Okay.
I did so much research on that. Anyway, I then thought this enchantment applicator, which realistically is designed for putting enchantments onto tools and armour.
Yeah.
Logically, there's no reason it wouldn't let you put the enchantments from one book onto another book.
I mean, that sounds reasonable.
So it does work. You actually had this set up before, so you had this set up, you had 2 of them. So you had one that constantly pumped a stack of sharpness 1 books into the first slot, and then put a sharpness 1 book in the second slot on demand to make sharpness 2.
Yep.
And then you had a second that did the same but with sharpness 2 books.
Yes, because we only needed sharpness 3 at that point.
So I've changed your system so that there's only one of them.
Okay.
And B, instead of filling up the first slot, it just puts an item in on demand. So when you request, say, a sharpness 2 book, the computer will send 2 sharpness 1 books to the crate, and then the conduits will round robin dispense the books into the 2 slots.
Okay.
So it will always do the slots in turn, one at a time, using the round robin function.
Okay.
Now, it's definitely possible that this could block itself up at some point, but it hasn't yet.
Okay.
The other thing is, I've turned on the interface, I've turned on blocking mode, so it will only push items for a craft if the crate is empty.
Okay.
So it will never push items for more than 1 craft at a time. And I've turned blocking mode on several interfaces.
Okay.
Because it feels useful. So the Stygian anvils have it as well. There's actually no issue with putting in multiple items for the craft at the same time on the Stygian anvils. It's just if you're going to request several stacks of something, if it dispenses or drops all of item 1 before starting item 2. Item 1 might start despawning before it gets around to dispensing item 2. So it felt easiest just to say, no, do it one at a time.
Yeah. I think I have an issue with how you've done some of this.
Oh, probably.
Only in that you changed the mana pool to make this work. Because you needed clownfish.
I did, yes. Now, I did know that was going to be an issue.
That did break some other recipes, so I have removed it.
I didn't know if it was going to work with the alchemy catalyst under it or not. I didn't test it, I must admit. I just kind of put it under there.
It did work, it just meant we couldn't make mana quartz.
Yeah, no, I'd hoped that recipes that didn't need the alchemy catalyst wouldn't care if there was an alchemy catalyst, but evidently that is not the case.
Well, no, so normal recipes do work. The recipe, if you put quartz in, changes if you have an alchemy catalyst or not.
Why?
So without the alchemy catalyst, it makes mana quartz. With it, it makes it into prismatic shards.
Oh yeah, and then with the conjuration catalyst, it just doubles it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we need 2 of these then in the end.
Yes.
In effect.
Which isn't too bad, but we have limited our space slightly.
It's not actually an issue with the thing over there then, as much as an issue with the thing here. Clownfish was surprisingly difficult to get. I did try it with generic fish. Doesn't work.
Could we not just have a fisher? A fishing machine?
Yeah, but then you'd end up with a load of junk.
But we have bins.
We have a supply of generic fish, it's just we need to turn them into clownfish.
Well, that is true.
They have to go via salmon, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah, and you can't get fish essence, can you, to just make clownfish?
No, clownfish are really awkward to get hold of.
Yeah.
And it's annoying that the recipe insists on using a clownfish.
I have no idea why it would only be clownfish that you could use.
Yeah, the clownfish comes from the salmon in the mana pool with the alchemy catalyst, and the salmon comes from raw fish in the mana pool with the alchemy catalyst.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't know where we get the raw fish from. We can make it from guardian essence, but I don't think we are. I suspect
essence, are we?
We're getting the raw fish from when we had the guardian in the root grinder. I suspect it was producing fish.
Possibly, yeah. We don't have a lot of fish at the moment.
No. I'm not against setting up a resource fisher. It's just, it's going to end up with giving us a lot of bows and fishing rods and things.
Yeah,
and
but we can just... I mean, lily pads might be useful.
It just means you need to set up an auto trash for some items like we have with the root grinder.
Yeah.
It's not an issue, it's just not something I wanted to get into when I could just put an alchemy catalyst onto the mana pool.
I mean, that's fair. But yeah, I might get around to setting that up today. There's plenty of things to do.
And we needed to build an alchemy catalyst anyway. I mean, it wasn't actually a quest, but I'm sure it will come in handy at some point. I'm sure we'll need it.
Yeah. Trying to think what else I've upgraded the Draconic Evolution stuff. So it's all of the correct tier that it needs to be. And I don't know if you saw, but I built myself a new area.
You did? You built a new platform over here?
Yes. So this is waiting on that portal being made.
Yes.
I think. So this is going to be where we're doing the extended crafting stuff.
I don't think I did anything else. I think most of what I was doing was waiting for stuff.
Oh, I took down the explosives, the TNT dispenser that we have. Just it wasn't working.
Yes.
Now we have to do it manually. That's not too much of an issue. So
it's annoying that it wasn't working, but
it should have worked. But
the circuit worked.
Yeah. I think it's the height we were dropping at, sometimes the TNT missed, because it's a tiny TNT.
Yeah.
And if we use big TNT, it blew up all these chests, because I had that happen 4 or 5 times.
Also, I suspect there could be issues with if you requested, say, a stack.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 components. If the dropper dropped all of item 1, but then the computer wasn't quick enough putting item 2 in. If the dropper empties, that triggered the TNT. So if the computer was still waiting on one of the items to craft, the dropper could finish dropping the other item and dispense a TNT, and then it'd be a waste of items. So I could see issues with it breaking. I could see how it could break.
Yeah, I think it's safer to just do it manually, as much as I want to automate everything.
Yes.
I also made this setup that doesn't work, but I wanted it to. So in theory, this setup should dig up crystal clusters and make them for us, but it just doesn't work. I feel like I've tried making these a few times. It just doesn't want to work, which is a pain. But oh well. Yeah, right. Would we like to make a compact machine, or did you want to do the mana stuff first?
Let's do the compact machine first. I've got a long list of things I need to do today, but let's make the compact machine first. So there should be all the blocks in the computer.
Compact.
We're making the maximum, I assume, because there's no point in making anything less.
Yep.
So you need a crystalline pink slime block and 98 compact machine walls.
98.
And an ender pearl.
And an ender pearl. There we go. Yep. Right, now what?
Now, I don't remember the exact layout, but I think it's a hollow 5x5x5 cube with a crystalline pink slime block in the very centre block of the cube.
Yes.
But I can't, change the layer to see that that's definitely correct.
If you hover over it, if you're looking in the render of it.
Yeah. It's not doing anything.
It did for me.
This is how we work.
Also, you've got things on your list to do. I also have things for your list to do that you're not going to like. I would like you to automate a couple of runes, because we need a couple of runes automated. One much more urgently than the other.
But you could automate the runes, and then I could go and do Abyssal Craft.
But it would be good practice for you to automate good stuff.
But
hey, I can hear the quest now.
Yeah, the quest completion sound. We've got it back.
Right, done a thing.
Throw the ender pearl in.
Stand outside the area and throw it in?
Yeah.
With Q or right click?
Q.
Very important distinction.
And there we go, it's going to miniaturise the structure. Slowly.
Squash it down.
It's a bit quicker when you're making the blocks. So to make the walls, I think it makes 8 in a batch.
Yeah.
But it's a block of nickel with a redstone dust on top, and then throwing another redstone dust in. And it's really tedious.
Yes, I can imagine. I think we did try automating that, didn't we? Having a block placer and having an auto thrower, something like that.
I don't know. If I was going to again, I would do it with a smaller miniaturisation field. I'd build a separate miniaturisation field, smaller, just for that.
Yeah.
Because this is the maximum size miniaturisation field.
Yeah. Okay. I've got a compact machine. So I can go do some stuff now.